Hey guys, welcome back to the Chaotic Kids channel, where I, Michelle, document my life here on YouTube as I try to become a full-time author while also traversing the world's multiple personalities. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around, but today we are going to be working on Act 2 of JJ's story, where I am planning on finishing out the edits. I'm currently on chapter 19, and I think there's like 23 chapters in this act, and I am going to be working on it, and then hopefully by the end of this video, I will be sending it off to my editor, so if that sounds exciting, stick around. But yeah, I say let's just jump into it, shall we? Hey guys, today is April 1st. It is a Wednesday. So like I said in the intro, we are working on JJ's project. Quick brief introduction to JJ. JJ's book is a book that I'm working under the title of From Home to Scripture. This is a book it's a young adult Christian fiction coming of age storyline. There's a character, his name is JJ, that has some sort of dissociative disorder. Either dissociative identity disorder, DID, or OSDD, which is other specified dissociative disorder. The main reason I feel, I guess, qualified to write this book, so with me, I, especially with these, heavier set mental health books, especially for the pen name Grace, Grace's Christian fiction novels, they are going to be heavily influenced by different mental health, different mental health factors, and also just different, lifestyles, I guess, I don't want to, this sounds weird to say, but different lifestyles, say, a person could be going through transitioning, or maybe have different sexualities and parents with different sexualities and stuff, but still all based in the Christian Catholic faith. Yeah, so it's a different kind of setup. But I honestly am doing this because I don't know, I'm very much Catholic and Christian. I'm eventually going to become a nun. In some capacity, maybe in 5 years, I will become a sister. But it's good to acknowledge other lifestyles. I can't think of any other word except lifestyle to say. But just experiencing different things that aren't the traditional way. Mostly because nowadays I don't know how to put this, but nowadays I feel the traditional way of man, woman, family with I don't know, I don't know. It's just everything is different nowadays than it was back whenever my parents were in school. Because when my dad was in school, no one talked about mental health. It was strictly go to school, learn, come home, work on the farm. Now, granted, I live in a rural area, but that's kind of how it was. But yeah, it's just something different. I want to just take aspects of the real world and implement it into the Catholic faith. But for JJ's story, did I say he has a dissociative disorder? But basically him realizing that he's a system, he's had some severe trauma, as he's just uncovering himself, but also I don't know how to put it, but him just discovering who he is and how his world is much more vast than just him in his head. I honestly don't know how well it's going right now. Okay, I feel like I've written so far a strong story. This is only in Act 2, so I'm pretty early, but I truly think that this is a really strong story. And whenever I get to the point of, okay, so the game plan with this book is after I get each act of the story done, I'm going to do one final read through, hopefully not changing too much about the document, but just reading it through. And once that happens, I'm going to send it off to some beta readers. And these beta readers are going to be systems, strictly because, did I tell you, systems are what people with dissociative disorders call themselves. But I would like to have these systems read the book and give us feedback, I do acknowledge that this is going to have a Christian fiction, like a Christian idea to it. But just keep in mind, just because it's Christian doesn't mean I'm like preaching it to you. It's still a realistic story of a boy learning about himself, kind of thing. But yeah, that's the game plan. And then after I get the beta reader feedback, implement what they say, I will then go. I think then I will get in contact with the the convent that I'm wanting to join, which is, yeah, I think it's called a con. I don't know. I can't think of words right now, but I will send it to them and get in contact with them and be more serious about this whole sisterhood, or religious life, just because then, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on words. But just get in contact with them and like kind of sell myself. I don't want to say sell myself, but like tell them who I am, be upfront and honest with them. The reason I picked them is because they're known as the media nuns. And I feel like my whole life revolves around media. I actually talked to my brother yesterday about the whole, like, really thinking about becoming a nun and becoming a sister. And he was like, oh, sure, you think of this now. Which I, like, love and hate my family because, like, they do support me, but just not the, like, yeah, go for it kind of thing. You know, like, they think of the worst case scenario going to happen. Which I relate to so much. And it kind of hurts every time that they're like, we'll see about that now. But anyways, I say let's just jump into it. Right now I'm working on chapter 19. I'm at 63,002 words. And that's with the whole second act written. I think there's like 4 or 5 chapters that I need to edit. And a lot of the edits I'm doing right now are changing like I'm doing from past tense to present tense because that's what my editor suggested whenever I got Act 1 back. So I'm implementing that, also bulking up the story, editing scenes that I want to edit. Yeah, that's kind of how things are going. I will see you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I've got all the words I want to say. But so I am doing kitchen timers, which are not kitchen timers, Pomodoro sprints, where I do 25 minutes worth of writing, maybe take a 5-minute break. It depends on how I'm feeling. But doing 25-minute sprints up until the point that I get the whole chapter done and edited. And then I'll take a break, go eat lunch around that time, and also go to like grandma's, go pray a rosary somewhere, and then in the afternoon I'll come back and write again and edit through it again. But like trying not to add any more words. But I think that's it now. I will see you guys in a little bit. Goodbye. Hey guys, I've done a really, really bad job of updating you guys throughout this journey. I think the last time I updated you guys was on Wednesday, and that's like the very first clips of the day. Yeah, today is the 4th. It's a Saturday. I typically don't like to record and work on books on Saturday, but I need to at least update you guys. If I work on books, good for me. I don't think I'm going to, but you never know. Yeah, but I will let you guys know, like, the last couple days have been, like, a serious knock to my ego. Not necessarily, like, in a bad, well, it is a bad thing, but not necessarily my ego, it's just, like, I was thinking I was doing really, really good back, like, at the very beginning of this month, like, the 1st. I say back at the beginning and it's only the 4th, but, like, even towards, like, the 29th, I felt really, really good. Up until, so the 29th to the 1st, I was feeling really, really good. I was getting up with my alarm clock, I was doing all this stuff, but then, like, the 1st hit, and I was like, okay, I missed waking up at a certain time, but that was alright. But then the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th today, like, it's just been a hit. It's been hit after hit of just, like, being so exhausted. Yesterday, my sister came up and I spent time with my nieces and nephews. But I ended up having like a spell later that day. So around 11, I went home and just passed out. I ended up eating something which kind of made me feel better, but I was like, I'm just so tired. I can't even like be present in the moment. So I went home. I fell asleep for like 2 hours. My sister ended up calling me, being like, "Hey, we're leaving. I know you wanted to see more times with the kids, but we're just leaving. We can't. Like, there's a storm coming." And I was like, "That makes total sense." Um, yeah, but I was just like, I was in pain. Like, not necessarily physical pain, but like emotionally, I was in pain because like I just couldn't comprehend what was going on with me. And the problem with me is I'm not really good at reading my emotions or reading how I'm feeling, just because I've been so detached from my emotions and from my feelings that I'm just like, I just can't, kind of thing. And with that comes the whole process of like me thinking about A, my books, and B, my goal to become a nun in 5 years, or becoming a religious sister in 5 years. And I'm talking this now because, like, I just want to acknowledge that, like, right now I'm going through a rough spell. And I know I'm going through a rough spell. And tomorrow's not going to be any better because it's going to be Easter. And I come from a huge family, and all the aunts and uncles and all their kids are going to be there. And I'm just like, it's going to be a hit because it's just so loud and so many people. Like, it's almost to the point where I'm like, I don't want to go just because it's going to be so loud. But I'm like, I have to do it because I enjoy my family somewhat. But, like, it just is going to be so loud and I'm just not wanting it. And especially considering, like, I had a spell on Friday. Like, having one spell is rough enough. Having two spells that close together is a devastating hit. And, like, I'm thinking about this channel and how I wanted to have a video out on the 9th, which I still have plenty of time. It's just, if I have a spell tomorrow and I feel like poop the next day, then how am I expected to do, like, 2 more chapters of worth of editing before this video goes live? Like, before this video, like, I wanted this video to be that, like, final edits of Act 2, draft, whatever, like this final edit before I send it off to my editor. But I'm just like, I am so drained. But I'm like, I still need to at least try to do something. So, if I'm gonna work today, I don't think I'm gonna work today, just because I'm like, I don't want to. But I don't know, I've got I feel so drained and stuff. And, like, to make matters worse, like, I haven't really been doing my Bible in a year. I did it on the 1st, but the last 2 days haven't done it. I'm planning on doing it today, but, like, I just feel so depressed. Well, not depressed, I just feel like I put it in a journaling session one time, but I was like, I feel as if I'm numb to the world. Like, I have this void in my chest that I can't escape from. Like, I'm almost in a spider web, but yet can't break out of the spider web. Kind of like I'm envisioning, like, Minecraft, like, if you have a spider web, you go extra slow, But I'm, like, surrounded by Minecraft spider webs, and I'm trying to break free, but it just, like, every time I step out of one, I find another one, and I'm like, I don't know if this is making sense, but I'm just so physically exhausted, and I'm just, like, not physically, I'm emotionally drained, and I don't know, I'm struggling, and I don't remember if I said this, but, like, the main reason is because I, like, had a huge, like, but, like, I had a huge system update to my headspace, I guess, which sounds so crazy to say, but, like, what I mean is, I have altars, and I have a headspace where we all communicate and get together, but the room, like, the place where we all meet up has changed, some of the rooms of the altars have changed, and then we're also discovering new altars. I say discovering, it just, before I don't know, like, it's hard to say who I am right now, but, like, there was some of us who knew that there were other altars around, but those altars weren't ready to communicate with us as a whole, because we were already under a lot of stress, and now we're going under more stress, and it's just like, this sucks. This sucks. Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just feeling so drained. Yeah. But I'll give you guys kind of an update on how word counts and stuff are going. So, um, chapter 19 we got done. We added 2014 words to the document. Back then we were at 65,005 words. Chapter 20 we did a lot of edits to. Like, we actually got rid of over 1,360 words on, 2 days ago. So on Thursday, we got rid of so many words. But I don't, like, that was the first round of edits for that chapter, and we're like, maybe we should just push through this chapter today and just get it done, because all we need to do is do the, like, final read through. But we just need to go through another reading of it, but it's just like, I don't want to be sitting up. And, like, our niece was just up here a couple minutes ago, and she wanted to do all these things, and so we put on this front of, like, being happy and, like, being active with her, but, like, at the same point, I just wanted to stay in bed all day. And, like, food doesn't even sound enjoyable right now. And, like, whenever I get to that point, I'm like, I know it's gonna be a rough time. Yeah, it's just rough right now. And then, like, me thinking about my 5-year goal to become a sister and stuff, I'm just like, how am I going to be a religious sister if I have these, like, super depressing days? Or, like, this whole depressive week and almost 3 weeks going on. And, like, it's not necessarily, like, depression, it's more just feeling so empty inside. And, you know, maybe that is someone's depression, but, like, there's a difference between my depression and what I'm going through right now. Right now is just system overload that I can't process what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, it's super fun right now. I don't know if we'll come back on. I don't know. We're just going through the emotions right now, and it hurts. If we come back and update you guys, we come back and update you guys. But we told ourselves that we were going to read today, but I just don't even want to do that. I don't know. I'm just going to sit in front of the computer, work on something, I don't know. And, yeah. I'll either come back today or maybe Monday. I don't know. I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye. Hey guys, so it is about 7 o'clock on Saturday night. So I just wanted to really come on and say that I've been doing a lot better since my recorded clip. When I was feeling like really depressed and stuff, I do feel better now. Honestly, it was after I prayed the rosary once. Like, I prayed the rosary after lunch, and I was like, I feel so much better. I'm gonna work on this book. Yeah, and I worked 3 hours on my book. Got done with it, then went down to eat, then I came back up and prayed another rosary and did the Bible in a year. And I will say, I forget how, like, invigorated I get after just listening to the scripture, praying, you know, like, all this stuff just makes me feel so good. Like, being in the presence of God, just having the God's word spoken to me and stuff, like, it makes me feel so powerful. Like, not necessarily powerful, but, like, makes me feel so ready to take on the world, I guess is the best way. Yeah, and I think that's honestly the reason why I want to be a sister so much, is because, like, religious life just sounds nice. Like, just being in the presence of God, not being, like, I feel like right now I'm so attached to my phone, and I'm like, I don't want to be attached to my phone. And, yeah, so it's just things that I'm working on. But today was a really good very good day for working on the book. I pretty much rewrote chapter 20 from what I had previously done, and I added like 992 words to the document, which is okay, especially considering I got rid of like 13,000. But yeah, I like it. I think so. The game plan for the rest of this week, even though you guys are going to see this in just one video. But so Sunday's Easter, not going to work, hopefully. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I plan on working on the book. But the issue is my windows are in for the remodel this year. So me and my dad will have to go down to Menards, which is about an hour and a half away from where I live, and get the windows. So when we get the windows, it'll be like an all-day process. But yeah, we'll have to get the windows eventually, especially before the 17th. But I will say, like, I kind of wanted to get, like, I wanted to get these 4 videos up the rest of this week, the rest of this month, and have them, like, each week be a week of working on a certain book. I don't know necessarily if that's going to happen, strictly because of the windows, and since once we get the windows, we'll start working on the house. So, yeah, it's not exactly going to happen as according to plan, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say. I am now going to be working on reading the Doing Something Beautiful for God book by that has Mother Teresa's teachings in it, which I think I'm going to do a video of reading this, so you guys can look forward to seeing that. But yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say. I hope you guys will stick around, and see you later. Bye. Hi. So today is the 6th. Yesterday was Easter. Hold on, this camera angle's all sorts of weird. But so today is the 6th. I just got back from getting my windows in the getting my windows from Menards. And, I had the sudden urge to work on JJ's project. I ended up finishing Act 2. Yeah. I don't really know how to describe how I'm feeling right now. Because, like, I was just in the flow. I was working on chapter 20. I was reworking the second chapter of it pretty much, or, like, the second part of chapter 20. And I was just, like, in this feeling, and I was, like, as I was writing, I'm, like, my other ending that I had for how this Act 2 was going to end didn't feel right, because, like, it didn't feel like this, like, huge climactic part. And, like, not necessarily saying that, like, I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure Act 2 is supposed to be ending in the climax. But I almost feel like each act of my story so far, like, is almost a book within itself, almost. Like, it's a climax before the next part, if that makes sense. So, like, Act 1 ended on JJ getting forced into the back when all the other alters start fronting, Act 2 ends with this giant fight in the system, and we didn't even get the perspective of, like, the people that were affected in the battle necessarily, or, like, this huge climactic problem. But I loved how it ended. And I'm just, at this point, I'm just, like, I don't know how to describe what I'm feeling. Like, I feel so invigorated. And I'm also, like, like, I'm just staring at this, and I'm, like, I don't understand. Like, but yet, this is how I want to write. Like, I want these stories, like, this point of the story, I want it to be, like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know how to comprehend. I don't know how to, like, communicate what I'm feeling while also being so, like, I don't know, like, I'm floored by what I just wrote. So I'm like, that is how I want to write for others. I want it to be that moment you're just sitting there and you're like, what in the world just happened? So I'm like, I'm completely shocked. I had no idea this was going to happen today. I was even like, before I started writing, I was like, okay, so tomorrow I'm going to do chapter 21, and then the next day I'm going to do chapter 22, and then hopefully this act will be done so I can send it off to my editor and finish this video. That didn't happen. I just suddenly finished it today. And, yeah, I am severely impressed by my work. Severely impressed? I don't know, but I've already sent it off to my editor. Act 2 is about 24,000 words. I don't remember exactly the word count in just Act 2 itself. But yeah, it's definitely like a showstopper, I feel like, or at least to me. And, this could just be coming from somebody who is a system, so they kind of understand what's going on. But dang is it intense, and I love it. And when I sent it over to my editor, like, I gave her a fair warning. I'm like, Act 1 was kind of rough. It changed a little bit. But Act 2 is whenever we learn that JJ is a system, so he has multiple personalities. And I was upfront. I'm like, this is how it is. There's multiple POVs. Things are, like, just giving her a fair warning. I try to make it as best as I could, kind of thing. But I was upfront, and I'm like, here you go. I'm just stopping at Act 2. I will get back to writing, but I'm like, I'm just stopped. Like, I feel like my mouth is on the floor, and I'm just like, what the heck just happened? And again, I will preach this until I'm done. Like, I want this moment to be like, what just happened? Like, that reality check that's just like this point in the book, you're just like, what? Like, that's all I want. I want so much emotion coming from this book at one time. And I think I hit it. I really, really, truly think I hit it. And I'm so proud of myself. Yeah. I'm to the point where I'm so proud of myself. Like, it is currently almost 6 o'clock. It's 5:30 right now. It's 5:30, not 6 o'clock. But I'm not even hungry. Like, I should have ate food about an hour ago, and yet I'm not feeling the desire to eat. Yeah, I just don't know what to say. I'm just floored, I'm impressed, and I love it. Yeah, so I guess this is the end of the video. I don't know what to say exactly, but this is the end of the video. I was feeling really rough at the beginning. I was having some mental turmoil. Gosh, I don't even know what this video all has, but yeah, it's definitely done. Sometime this month, I'm going to start working on Act 3 of it. I will, like I said in a couple of videos, like, my video content is going to be once a week now, due to the fact that we're starting on the work on the house. But yeah, I really don't know what else to say. Next video, I'm going to try to have it as working on my picture book, but I might get back to working on JJ's project and write Act 3 to get it knocked out. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm actually at a stop, at a blank person, like, just words are empty. So I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to keep making fantasies come true, one story at a time. And, I will see you guys in the next video with who knows what's gonna happen. So, see ya.